Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt. Thursday of testing week. We're going to test out back squat and shoulder press today. So let's get into the warm up. We'll start with 3 rounds through, 20 reps of a jumping jack. Nice and easy. Don't sleep on your lower extremities for back squats, okay? When we warm up back squats, you definitely want to have the feet, the toes, the plantar surface, your ankles, Achilles, all that stuff needs to be nice and loose and warm so that we're in a good position that we can grip the ground with, that we've got good flexibility in the ankles, we've got that full range of motion for the lower extremities before we go into the back squats. Next one, knee hugs and quad pulls, right? So there's just some basic dynamic range of motion stuff for my butt, my glutes, my hips, my quads, my hip flexors, and then bench T-spine openers. So there's the other one to not sleep on is the upper back, the shoulders, rotation of the shoulders, being able to get into a nice, tight, stacked foundation for that bar sitting on the back of my shoulders, right? And one of the ways that we do that is by opening up your thoracic spine. Okay, so some dynamic T-spine openers here. I've got my hands on the edge of the bench with my arms straight, ears past my arms if I can get there, and then I'm taking one hand and diving it through, reaching my cheek for the ground, and then twisting and opening up to the sky like so, a couple times on each side, right? And then our back squat warm-ups. Okay, so back squat warm-ups, number one thing on here is keeping my upper back stacked and keeping the entire spine neutral when I do my squat. So I've got a slightly wider than shoulder width grip here, and I'm gonna duck underneath and push myself past that bar, right? So that it is sitting behind my neck, right? The tighter I can grip, like the narrower I can grab with my hands, the more I can kind of scrunch those muscles up underneath it and make a nice firm foundation for that bar. The wider my hands are, right? Sometimes you have to widen your hands out for tight shoulders, but you really don't want to any more than you have to because it sort of stretches those muscles out and makes less padding for that bar as it sits on top of your spine, okay? So that the narrowest grip that you can have while still keeping a good stacked spine is where you want to be, right? And then when you take a step back, you only need to take that one step back, right? Take your squat width stance. Remember, brace that belly before you move into it, hips back first, all the way back and down, and then squeeze and stand tall to finish, and then walk it back into the rack. Similar warm-up philosophy for back squats as we used for the cleans. Like nobody should be doing sets of 5 other than maybe with the empty barbell or like one plate on the bar, okay? We don't need to exhaust your we can't exhaust your muscles before you do a 1 rep max. We gotta do small sets, moderate weight jumps, and many singular sets on the way up to those 3 test reps for our back squat. Total duration for this could be 15 minutes, could be 30 minutes, right? Depends on how much you lift. The heavier you're lifting in terms of total pounds, the longer you need to rest between sets. So you'll see the people who are back squatting 400 plus pounds, that they need to rest 5, 6, 7 minutes in between sets. And it's very routine for like elite powerlifters to be resting like 15 to 20 minutes in between singles, but those guys are lifting like 800, 900, 1,000 pounds, okay? So just keep that in mind that like if your 1 rep max is 165 and it's the most you've ever done, but you feel completely ready and you get 175 after only resting 2 minutes, that's totally fine. But once you break into like the higher 200s and into the 300s, you're going to need more rest. Otherwise, you're not going to make those next sets or those next reps, okay? All right, and that's just physiology. That's how muscles restore energy from exerting that much effort on it, okay? The next one, we can leave the bar in the same place, but we'll take the weight way down, and we're doing shoulder press for our next set, next testing exercise. So this is a strict press from the shoulder. It will be significantly less than your jerk that we did earlier in the week, and in between, or it'll be less than your push press. So in terms of efficiency, the shoulder press is the least efficient. It uses all muscle to get the bar from the shoulders to overhead, right? So it's really a pure strength movement. There's not a significant amount of skill required. There's some skill required, but it is just muscle from the shoulders to overhead. So again, that shoulder width grip on the bar, touch it to my throat, drive those elbows forward, and again, my big step back. And then from this braced position, I'm squeezing my belly, squeezing my abs, squeezing my butt and my quads. Duck that head back, press the bar vertical. Make sure those rings are out of the way before you do your shoulder press, all right? And those are our 2 lifts for today. Between the 2, that should be the duration of the entire hour for class. So make sure you're taking your time, doing your warm-up sets, and resting adequately in between sets, all right? That's it for Thursday. I'll see you guys for our workout on Friday.